What's up, fight fans? There's been a lot of controversy over Sean O'Malley's decision win over Petr Yan. So, was it a robbery? Let's break this one down round by round and find out.
Chess is like a fight. You must think first before you move.
The first question everyone had coming into this fight was, how will Petr deal with the significant reach and height advantage of O'Malley? And right away, we got our answer. Yan's plan was to occupy the space between them by controlling Sean's lead hand while pressuring with kicks to back O'Malley up and cutting off the cage. The idea behind this being to neutralize the range advantage by stifling Sean's movement. Yan is a mean fighter though, he's not afraid to bend the rules, just ask Aljamain Sterling. So he kept giving Sean the old John Jones outstretched fingers in the eyes. Little dirty, but still, in round one, Sean was doing a good job of changing stances and circling to avoid getting caught against the cage. And when they were out in the open space, his right hand from the orthodox stance would come over the top of Yan's long guard when Petr was orthodox, or straight down the middle when he was southpaw. Most of the round saw this go on, with Petr trying to cut off the cage, get on the inside, and Sean stayed on his bike, landing pot shots from the outside. And although it was competitive, it seemed like Sean had the edge in the stand-up, because his speed, movement, and range made it very difficult for Petr to land anything of note. That is, until he finally got Sean against the cage, landed a teep and left hook, mostly to cut the space between them, and then chained it all together into a big double leg takedown. To Sean's credit, he didn't stay on his back for very long, and ended the round with a takedown attempt of his own. All in all, close round, slight edge on the feet to the Sugar Show, but for me, Petr's forward pressure and big double leg takedown won him the round. 10-9, Yan. Yan starts off round 2 with more of the same, kicking the body, backing Sean up, trying to cut the cage off. O'Malley circles out and they meet in the middle. He contests the space by fighting Petr's control hand, switches to southpaw, and Petr follows him. And here, O'Malley is going to land the biggest punch of the fight to this point. A beautiful long left hand preceded by a feint that froze Petr. And with Yan stung, O'Malley pressed the action. And this is when we're reminded that Petr Yan could easily be the bantamweight champion. As O'Malley gets in his face, Peter's going to use not one, but 2 controls this time to check O'Malley's weapons, ensure he's in range, and land an absolutely massive overhand left that nearly floors Sean. Petr very intelligently takes him down and does some good work from guard. O'Malley works his way back to the feet, only to be met by a beautiful foot sweep from Yan. And from here on, Petr really seemed to be in the zone. That left hand completely woke him up, and for the rest of the round, Sugar somewhat resigned himself to fighting off the cage, which is of course what Petr wants. That was his game plan, and he punished Sean by cutting the cage off with left body kicks. With less than a minute left, Yan once again throws a combination, dives on the legs, takes O'Malley down, and ends the round on top. So after a good start from Sean, Petr dominates this round, and this one was a clear 10-9 for Petr Yan. That brings us to the last round of the fight. Here we saw a different story. Sean came out contesting the space. He took the center. He was pawing at Yan's long guard. He was jabbing. He was coming forward and switching stances. And Petr was clearly uncomfortable. I mean, more uncomfortable than we've ever seen him on the feet with anybody else. So he attempts a takedown, but because they're out in the open and not against the cage, Sean easily defends it. He stays long, and he really keeps his jab out there, something he wasn't doing in the early rounds. And I think this made a difference and really seemed to bother Petr. Petr throws a combo just to back O'Malley up and get on the inside, but Sean is able to stop the takedown this time and lands a nice knee on the way out, which cuts Yan. And this was the best moment of the fight for him, as he walks down the former champion, throwing knees, 1-2s, uppercuts, head kicks, the whole arsenal. A lot of it was blocked by Yan's disciplined high guard, which allowed Petr to counter with some nice hooks, highlighting Sean's tendency to get lackadaisical, especially when he feels his offense is going well. He get a little careless, leave his hands down and his chin up in the air, but the chin holds up. Now Yan, having found more success grappling than standing, shoots from the outside, doesn't get it but sticks to Sean and eventually does get the takedown. He doesn't do too much with it, but in the last minute of the fight, Sugar again really pressing the action, probably thinking he needs a finish, leaves himself open for a beautiful overhand left counter from Jan, who secures another sweep to end the round on top. This one probably the closest round of the fight, but I'm giving it to O'Malley. A much better round for him. Still got taken down, but found a lot of success in maximizing his range with his jabs and keeping the center of the cage. So there you have it, guys. That's my score, 29-28 for Jan. Was this a robbery? It's hard to say. I mean, robbery's a bit much. It was a competitive fight, but I definitely felt that Petr was the clear winner. He deserved at least 2 of the 3 rounds, but it seems like the guy really can't catch a break lately. So if I were him, I am not leaving anything up to judges going forward. Sean showed his stand-up is legit and more than enough to force one of the best strikers in the division to turn to grappling. But at the end of the day, this is mixed martial arts, and we need to judge it as such. So maybe a bit of a robbery, even O'Malley seemed confused at the end. I mean, I've never heard a guy get up for the title shot and then say, I gotta watch the fight again. But great performance from both men, their stock goes up, and a 5-round rematch seems like the best idea. Who do you got in the rematch? Who do you think won this fight? Was it a robbery? Let me know in the comments, subscribe for more, and until next time, Checkmate MMA signing out. Peace.